there's a few ways that we talk about this as well. There are some people that would choose a tint or a color of polarized lens to match the color of the sunglass frame that they've chosen. So it's
Yeah,
fashion.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, end of story. Because if it's going to look bad, then why would you bother? So if you've got a hot pink sunglass, then possibly a brown lens is going to look a bit weird, but a grey lens might look better. That's one example. It's a bit of an extreme example, but you get the idea. So
Mm.
certain things would match really, really well. The second way that we look at sunglass lenses and colors is if we're talking about tint is what's in the middle of the lens, so it's what you see looking through it. When you're talking about blues and silvers and things, they're mirrors, which are coatings on the front surface of the lens, and they're reflections and they're cosmetic. So would a mirror change what you see through it? Not the color that you see through, but it changes the outward appearance, and it can reduce a little bit of light as well, so it can make things a better sunglass.
Mm.
But if we're talking about the color of the sunglass lenses, that's where we're talking about a brown or a gray are probably the two extremes. Where would we use brown lenses? We use brown lenses when we're looking for higher contrast ability, and that's particularly for golfing. So a brown lens has been shown to be a better contrast when we're looking at flight of ball down the fairway, and you'll see it on the green better and clearer with a brown lens over a grey lens. And if we talk about wacky things, that also is true of purple lenses. And Tiger Woods was wearing a purple sunglass lens for years because it was heightened contrast. Most people don't like a purple tint. So he's doing it at an extreme level because he's at an extreme level of sport, and probably because he got a bit of sponsorship as well. There's
Mm.
a whole gamut of things to unpack there. But the brown lenses work in that setting very, very well. Brown lenses are also really preferred by trout fishermen. Brown lenses are also preferred by people that are going hunting in the bush, because they're looking for heightened contrast to see glints of eyeballs or antlers of deer or whatever they're chasing. But they're not liked by people that do deep water ocean fishing because they find them not dark enough. They find them too bright and too irritating. So in that circumstance, a grey lens is preferred for someone that's ocean fishing or deep water fishing or tuna fishing off the coast. But those grey lenses in Tassie aren't as popular every day because they're almost too dark. And on a cloudy day or an overcast day, or if you're going into an underground car park, the grey lenses can be so dark people want to cap their shades because it's too dark. And if they're prescription glasses, you can't do that because as soon as you do that, you can't see. So a brown lens has a harmonizing effect between light areas and dark areas. So we sell a lot of brown in Tassie. I didn't sell much brown in Queensland when I was up there. So I think it's regional, and it's determined a little bit by fashion of what's popular in your area, but it's also determined by the light in your area and the pastimes. There wasn't a lot of fly fishermen in Rockhampton. There was a lot more ocean fishermen, so we sold a lot of grey. Down here, I've got a very small percentage of people that are ocean fishermen, and most people are river fishermen or lake fishermen.
There's a fellow who has a YouTube channel, and I just can't remember it at this moment, but he so he talks a lot about lenses, and he does really good videos about different kinds of lenses. And I've heard him talk about how different kinds of tints can have a somewhat calming effect on some people. Like, for example, in maybe in urban environments, a rose tint might work better, or something like that. So I guess for some people, like the tint can actually have like neurological benefits. I'm not sure if it's the right word, but it does actually make them feel more comfortable going about their day. Is that something that you've ever come across?
Yeah, there's a science called colourimetry, and there's a gentleman that pioneered a bit of that in the Southern Hemisphere in Dunedin, and I've got a set of lenses from him. I don't use them a lot, but I do use them occasionally for people, and particularly looking at calming down a migraine sufferer. Um, there are specific lenses that are designed for migraine sufferers now, so we tend to use those more, but they're really expensive, and they're
Mm.
called Avulux, and Avulux are amazing. When we sell them, people think they're mind-blowingly good, but you've got to be in a chronic situation to bet that sort of dollars, because $1,000 to $1,500 for a pair of lenses is nothing to sneeze at. It's really expensive. And with the calming colors, there's some good science on various eye diseases. That's good science. So if we're talking about macular degeneration and glaucoma, there are certain tints that are helpful for those, and we carry those specialty tints, and we get those through CR Labs in Melbourne, which is great. And there are migraine lens tints as well, that they've got that are precursor to the Avulux, which are not as good, not as much evidence behind them, but I can get those as well for a cheaper price. So all of those things, we've got a set of those as little clip-ons or flipper samples as well in the practice for people to try. So we've got a range of these ergonomic or medical tints that we carry and we offer. And then I've got a heap of fashion tints. I've got boxes and cartons of those and in display boxes that we use as well. So in terms of fashion, we can do virtually anything. And even the colourmetric lenses, they make them that go light and dark. And I've got them in grey and brown and green and blue and violet and a different sort of green and a different sort of blue and a bit of a goldy colour. It's just amazing. Talking about goldy colours, there's a new Zeiss lens which has a gold mirror, a gold anti-reflective coating. So where mine's a blue blush, it's a gold blush,
Yeah.
and looks amazing. Is it better than the others? Well, Zeiss is again, it's good heritage. It's got good history with lens coatings, but it looks impressive. So if it looks as you're thinking you want to get a different look, then that gold lens is like nothing else. So it's
Right.
impressive.
Gold might also be a great option if you're a person who wears a lot of gold jewelry. I think that might go well.
And it's popular in maybe a Chinese or an Asian demographic as well. So gold is seen to be a very popular type of tone or type of color. So and it's also very fashionable as well. So you see a little bit on TikTok and some of the other sort of Instagram sort of stories with these funky gold lenses at the moment.